I learned that like 35 million people are at risk for kidney disease, so it's just like, and that
4 days after his 59th birthday, surrounded by his family, after a private battle with cancer that almost nobody outside his inner circle knew about. Hip-hop legend Rob Bass, born Robert Ginyard, passed away peacefully on May 22, 2026. He was 59 years old. And the man who shared stages with him for years on the I Love the 90s tour, who performed beside him at arenas across the country, who knew what he was like in the green room before the show and in the parking lot after, is now sitting with a grief that is both public and deeply personal. Vanilla Ice and Rob Bass were road brothers, not from childhood, not from the same Harlem block, but from the specific, unglamorous, joyful brotherhood of the nostalgia circuit. Two men from the golden era of hip-hop who kept showing up for the fans, kept delivering, kept proving that the music was still worth performing and the audience was still worth serving. And now one of them is gone. His family released a statement. Rob's music, energy, and legacy helped shape a generation and brought joy to millions around the world. Beyond the stage, he was a loving father, family man, friend, and creative force whose impact will never be forgotten. Thank you for the music, the memories, and the moments that became the soundtrack to our lives. The soundtrack to our lives. That is not marketing language. That is the precise description of what It Takes Two did in 1988 and has continued to do for nearly 40 years since. The song blends hip-hop and house music and rose to #1. It became a pop culture staple and was later sampled by artists including Snoop Dogg and the Black Eyed Peas. It was recorded in 2 nights. 2 nights in a studio in Harlem that produced one of the most enduring recordings in the history of the genre. A song that is still played at weddings, at sporting events, at parties where people who were not alive in 1988 know every word. Rob Bass and DJ Easy Rock met in the 5th grade while growing up in Harlem. Inspired by local pioneers, they built their career from the ground up after recording early demos together. And then in 2014, 12 years before Rob Bass died, DJ Easy Rock was gone. Complications from diabetes, age 46. For the past 12 years, Bass carried the duo's legacy alone, honoring their shared history in every performance. Think about what that means. Every time he walked onto a stage and performed It Takes Two, he was performing for 2 people, for himself and for the man he met in the 5th grade who was supposed to be beside him, for the partnership, for the thing they built together that the world still loved even after one half of it was gone. He carried Easy Rock with him for 12 years, and now they are together again. Bass is survived by his children, his daughter Dejanae Ginyard and his son Robert Ginyard Jr. He and his late wife April, who died in 2013, also took guardianship of April's cousin Dicel. He lost his wife in 2013, his musical partner in 2014, and spent the next 12 years performing on the nostalgia circuit, showing up, delivering, sharing stages with Vanilla Ice and Young MC and Salt-N-Pepa, and all for one, because the fans still came, and he still believed they deserved the real thing. That is the last video the world has of Rob Bass. Not a final statement, not a farewell post, just a man on a stage, still performing, still giving everything, still making It Takes Two feel like the first time, because that was who he was until the very end. Rob Bass continued performing on the I Love the 90s tour alongside acts like Vanilla Ice, sharing stages and carrying the legacy of a golden era that millions of fans never stopped loving. Vanilla Ice is now on that tour without him, on stages they shared, in arenas where Rob Bass was supposed to be in the green room before the show. The last video before his death was the most honest tribute of all, a man who never stopped showing up for the music he built, the fans who loved it, and the partner he carried with him long after he was gone. Rob Bass passed peacefully on May 22, 2026, just 4 days after celebrating his 59th birthday. He was surrounded by family. Rest in peace, Rob Bass. May 18, 1967, May 22, 2026. It takes two to make a thing go right, and he made it right every single time. Thank you for watching.